When he ran for president, Donald Trump repeatedly promised to lower costs on day one. Those were his words. But since Trump became president, families have been more financially stressed than ever. Since January, consumer sentiment has plummeted. Since January, household debt and delinquencies continue to climb. Since January, workers' worries over layoffs have climbed. Since January, businesses big and small have been paralyzed by uncertainty, and they have hit the brakes on investments and hiring. The cause of these problems has been the chaos caused by one person, President Trump. Chaotic trade policies, massive cuts to families' health care coverage to fund tax giveaways to the wealthy, and wholesale deregulation of our financial system that will unleash fraudsters and con men on the middle class. First, trade. Trump continues to play his lose-lose game of red light, green light on tariffs. When this administration slaps tariffs on everything from food to clothing to electronics, working families pay the price. This is bad for the middle class and bad for Main Street. Tariffs like these mean higher prices on essentials for consumers and small businesses, while large corporations and the wealthy find ways to shield themselves from the impact. Second, tax cuts for the wealthy. Trump's one big, beautiful bill that Republicans are jamming through Congress represents one of the largest transfers of wealth from working people to millionaires and billionaires in American history. How are Trump and Republicans paying for part of this $4 trillion in tax giveaways to billionaires? Well, by kicking 16 million people off their health care coverage, cutting food assistance for more than 2 million children, and raising monthly student loan payments for millions of borrowers just after delinquencies have skyrocketed. In addition to raising costs for lower and middle class Americans and taking money right out of their pockets, this bill will also choke economic growth. This isn't tax policy, it's economic warfare against the American people. And even when they throw 16 million people off their health care, the Republicans still can't pay for the lavish tax giveaways to billionaires. So instead of just saying that billionaires and billionaire corporations should just pay a little more in taxes, they put the costs of those billionaire tax cuts on the nation's credit card, the national debt. The Republicans plan to run up the national debt by another $4.2 trillion and expect our children and our grandchildren to pay for it. And finally, deregulation. This administration is systematically dismantling the safeguards that policymakers put in place after the 2008 financial crash to prevent Wall Street from creating another crisis. Less than 2 weeks ago, the Fed board decided to lift Wells Fargo's asset cap. You couldn't even wait until Wells managed to make it one whole year without being caught in a major financial scandal. In just the past 6 months, Wells has been caught and confessed to cheating its customers, cheating its investors, and cheating its workers, the trifecta. For the Fed to give them a gold star and tell Wells it's okay to expand the number of customers, investors, and employees that it can cheat is an outrageous giveaway to one of Wall Street's most derelict banks. And today, you will leave this hearing and go directly to a meeting where the Fed is expected to vote to lower capital requirements for JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the other too big to fail banks. At a time when the economic data are flashing red, these short-sighted changes will increase the likelihood that these mega banks once again tank the economy and then come back here to beg Congress for bailouts when their risky bets go bust. To sum up Trump's economic agenda, it's chaos and pain for the middle class and even more profits for the powerful. American families will face higher costs and new risks to their health care and their bank accounts.